Welcome to our new series, the 200 Movie Challenge. Our goal this year is to watch 200 movies that we haven't seen yet. If you want to listen to the full podcast where this clip is from, the link will be in the description. Now enjoy today's movie.
So anyhow, Soto, let's go on to your first movie. What did you watch for this Valentine's week? It's the season. What is your first movie?
Yeah, I wasn't really thinking about Valentine's until probably like today, which is the day before. But yeah, I just turned it on. I wanted to see something random, and so I have never seen any of the newer Godzilla movies, and I didn't really even look it up. I just kind of saw that it was on. I don't even know what streaming it was on, but I saw the movie Godzilla Minus One. And I went into it just really not expecting anything. I kind of wanted to watch something that, uh, you could just kind of turn your mind off of and just watch. And I was stunned by what I ended up watching because it was, if I could describe it succinctly, I would say that it was an amazing character movie that just happened to have Godzilla in it. Now, Godzilla, of course, very metaphoric in this movie. It's about the main character. He lands his plane. He's a kamikaze fighter in World War II, and he lands his plane on an island with the mechanics there that fix these planes. And it's under the pretense that he's landing his plane because there's something wrong with it, but it actually turns out that he deserted the war and was trying to run away from it. Didn't want to give up his life for no reason. It was like at the end of the war. But the Japanese at that time and culture in general is very about honor, and making sure that it's better to die with honor. And of course, I'm not trying to say that I know anything about Japanese culture. I don't, just from the outside looking in. For the purpose of this story. So he's kind of deserter, and as he's dealing with that on the island with these Japanese mechanics as well, they run into Godzilla there. And to kind of compile on his desertion, Godzilla, in a much smaller version, Godzilla ends up killing all of the mechanics in the island. And they'd asked him to shoot Godzilla with his plane that was there, and he freezes up and he gets scared again and is unable to pull the trigger. He wakes up and everybody's dead there except for one guy. And really, the protagonist just kind of ends up carrying this weight all the way till he returns back to Tokyo. And at that time, Tokyo had been devastated by the United States in firebombing. So nothing's left. His parents are killed. He comes back. His neighbor's like, I thought you were a kamikaze fighter. Why are you alive? And then he ends up running into a woman that is caring for a child. It's not her child. It's just that everything was blown up and chaotic. This is real history. And this woman randomly finds this baby, and then they kind of haphazardly have a family together that's just trying to get through it. Meanwhile, in the background, Godzilla is getting bigger and bigger in the ocean and becoming a menace. And so the whole premise is, just this post World War II devastation in Japan, how this pilot is dealing with his survivor's guilt while also dealing with, being a coward and kind of feeling like he died in the war and not understanding if he was still alive. A lot of feelings of just these kind of things, and then the family that you have, whether or not if it's blood or if it's the one that you choose. There's all these amazing, fantastic themes throughout this movie that I was not expecting at all. And I was stunned at just how much heart this movie had. On top of that, the special effects are fucking amazing. I won an Academy Award for the special effects too.
Did it? I don't know.
Best Godzilla movie I've ever seen. I haven't seen a lot of Godzilla movies outside of when I was a little kid. I would watch Godzilla versus Mothra, shit like that. But this was hands down the best Godzilla movie I've ever seen. One of the best movies I've ever seen. Just the way that it handled everything, the way it wrapped up, just the story, the vibe, everything about this movie was great. And you come into a movie and you're not really expecting something, right? We've talked about this before. You see a trailer and you kind of develop your own sort of preconceived notions onto a movie, and that can kind of end up whether you're disappointed in a movie or whether you end up being surprised. But I'm going to watch this movie again. I'm going to probably buy this movie on Blu-ray.
Ooh.
This is going to be a movie that's going to be part of my library. It even opens up, it even ends open-ended for a sequel as well, while still wrapping up a really fantastic character journey and story. And I just, again, biggest surprise of the year for me so far. And the most enjoyable movie that I've watched this year too. It really impacted me. And this movie shot directly to number one above Lawrence Arabia.
Wow.
For this year. It just was such a surprise out of nowhere. I wasn't expecting anything out of this movie. And it just had a really great story. And again, it's got the historical sort of background, but it's about the main character's journey and how he comes to terms with who he is, his newfound family, how he fits into society, and how he ends up finding a reason to keep living after all these things have happened with Godzilla around. So, again, it's just Godzilla puts the metaphor of the weight of everything that he's carrying around and the weight of everything that's going on in Japan and all that. It's done in a very, very good way, and not in like a cheesy way, I thought, not in a cringy way. It's done very authentically, and I just enjoyed the shit out of it.
Well, damn, number one, I never would have expected, because I do remember a lot of the old school Godzilla films, and you're right,
Of course.
they're cheesily done, but they seem to be classics. And then they have whatever the mid '90s one with Matthew Broderick, which I was like, this is shit.
Yeah,
but like you,
right,
I thought about seeing some new Godzilla. Like I did save, I think it was Godzilla versus King Kong. I don't know if I'll get to it, but I was like, all right, maybe I'll watch this, because I was kind of intrigued of how the new generation's going with these monster movies. So, but Godzilla Minus One, number one on your list.
Yeah, well
and
done.
You're buying it physically.
I'm gonna end up buying this movie. There's no doubt about it. This is a movie that I'm gonna have physical media of in my library. Yeah, it's just, again, it didn't do anything new. Again, outside of the special effects, which were fantastic. I just thought it was a really good story, and we talk about it all the time. You just want a movie to set up the rules of the universe and to finish that rules nicely. And it was just, I found it incredibly satisfying to watch. I can't wait to watch it again. It might not be for everybody. Again, this is a Godzilla movie. I saw it in Japanese with English subtitles. Not everybody's cup of tea, but to kind of reiterate, so much heart in this movie.
But you don't expect in a Godzilla movie.
No, I certainly wasn't expecting that. Not at all.
Wow. Well, I'm impressed. Number one for a Godzilla movie. So
I didn't think that Godzilla
beats out Lawrence Arabia. So yeah, that's
from talking like pure enjoyment. I enjoyed the shit out of it. Lawrence Arabia, obviously Academy Award winning legendary film. Cinematography is fantastic. It's 4 hours long. I don't know if I'd say that's enjoyable. And I think that the most important thing with this list and what we talked about is, did we enjoy it? What level did we enjoy this at? Did this hit the right notes for us personally? Because we've talked about it. Movies are subjective, and things tend to hit you at certain points, and kind of your history will kind of inform whether you like that kind of movie. I'm not saying that everybody's going to watch Godzilla Minus One and be like, this is a legendary movie. But if you like really well-written stories and you like really, really good special effects, and you like a little bit of history too, this is a great recommendation. Definitely check it out.